Hello again. This time I will show you how you could go in and clean away the dust on the back lens group in this AF-S VR-NIKKOR 70-200 2.8 G ED. So let's take a look in this nice lens, which have some dust in the back lens group. Maybe you can see what's going on in there. There are some dust. Well, there's also a fingerprint or whatever it is. But let's take a look inside. The thing we have to do is going in from the back. I mean, to take the tripod mount, which is held by 4 screws and 3 screws under here, and then it can be drawn off. And there's 11 screws around here that we also need to take off. The contact board held with 2 screws, and of course this nameplate has to be taken off. And of course the when we come to that, the mount, the aperture pin, this contact to the camera needs to be unscrewed from the mount. So let's go ahead. I use a JIS 0, which maybe one think it's too big, but actually it's not. Okay, these screws here, there are 2 on here and 2 here. The 2 up here is shorter than those here. So just to be sure you put them correct in again. So the difference in the screws you can show you here. So it is. So that's the short one and the long one, and it goes like, come on. So the longer is here and the shorter is here. The longer. It's not that complicated to get into the lens, but just need good tools. So is the nameplate or the tripod mount, sorry, it's off, and then we have to loosen this, and there's 1 screw here, and then I turn another screw here, and the last one here. So let's the problem is with this lens, it's actually that the dust is not really behind the back lens. It's further into the back lens group. So therefore we need to fully take out the VR section and come in and blow the dust away. And here we go with the last one. So here we are. And now it can be turned and then it's off. Now, and then we need to take off the contact board or the switch board. Seems that there had been some water on this screw. Looks like rust, or yeah, could be. It has been used a lot, this lens. Oh, it's only the Threadlocker. Yeah, maybe a combination. So now we need to lift this off. There is a rubber gasket around here, so take care of that. Okay, we need some tool, handy dentist tool. So, and remember the three flex cables, connectors on the back here, which you can see here. The one here, there, and there. The two of them, they cannot sit in opposite direction, position, but I think I will just mark one of those so I know which way it goes. So just put a blue dot and on this and on the third. Just simple marks, but it will help you a lot. So now is the lock in here. I need to lift up, get a closer look. Click, it says, and then with the rubberized tweezer, which is very handy, so it's easy to just lift it out. And here we are. So it is. And then it's the same with the other one. Just gently lift it up. Not too much. So it says click. And then it's lifted up with the rubberized tweezer. I actually use plastic coat to make this tweezer, and it's really handy. Now the last one. Don't use too much force. This has to say click, and that's it. Is possible to loosen it, lift it out. So here we are. So that's part of it. This is very good to do now. Now we have the nameplate, which is also set by 4 screws. And the screws are pretty long. I mean, it's just a nameplate. But it also goes through this outer housing into the inner. So therefore so it's actually solid metal. Well, now next we have 11 screws around here, which is if we go from the dot here, there are 2 here, there, and in the bottom of the lens where the Nikon and the SWM VR-NIKKOR, there's only 1, because there is another screw, set screw or something, so it sits correct. And then we have 2 here and there. And if it seems there has been somebody in this lens before me, if the screws are way too tight, it's not the problem here, but if, I mean, they are a little tight, so one can actually use some nail polish remover with the acetone, and some cotton bud. So one can actually just give it a little dip. So it will soften the thread lock. It's not much, but it'll help you a lot to not damage the screws. So that's it. Let it stay for a little, and then it should be much easier to unscrew the screw. See, that's a lot easier. Takes a while, so we will I'll just take out the screws after that, With a tweezer it's just easier to hold, get a good grip on the lens when you do this. So we are almost there. Only 4 screws left, and then we are actually in the lens. I mean, the back of the lens. If I didn't use the nail polish remover, some of the screw might just be damaged due to the thread lock. Now, all the screws are the same, so you will just take them out. No problem with that. And the last one here. So it is all the way around 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 and 11. Now the aperture pin, which is here, will go directly down here to the part of the aperture plate system. So what I do now is just gently lift it off, moving it, and have a good grip down here, and have a good grip down here, up here, and then it should be possible to just gently lift it off. Take care of the flex, they are fragile. So here we are. There are dust everywhere, even on those. And you see those tapes here around there, and there's one here, is actually the way the very sticky tape will catch some of the dust which is inside, and they will come inside one day. Put it aside, because it's not that part we go into. It will be the back part of the lens, which we have here. The aperture pin, which is here, it can sometimes be annoying to put in, is actually catch here, which is the aperture system. See? Now, what I want to do is go further in here to the back lens group. So what I'm gonna do is take off this, lift that out gently, and there's one thing you have to know: you have to use a wristband. It's not the problem here, because I put it on my leg, so I have my hands free. But loose this, and I've loosened this over here, and just take out the flex, which I also will do here. unclick it. Don't use that much force because so here we are. Then it's loose, and now I will unscrew the 3 screws here, which is one here, there, and there. Over here there's a shim, and it's not under the other 2. On those screws they haven't used thread lock, they only use some kind of lac to prevent the screw from unscrewing. See? All has the same length. Now, what I will do is to lift the circuit board out, which I can and then with my tweezer. So here we are. So it is. I have shown this in another film, but this time I will go any further into the lens and see what's actually happening inside. And then I will need a longer screwdriver. So this assembly here is the the VR section. It's also put together with 3 screws, one here, there, and over here. So let's get it free. Not that long, but then the screw down here. So the one flex cable, which is the one here, this one, is coming from the contact port here, so there's no problem. And to take out the whole lens assembly here, I just need to take it out that way, and here we are. Can you see all the dust here? There's a lot of dust here. So the only thing I do and will do, put this aside, just to get completely rid of it. It's not that hard. but now it's much better, as you can see. So this is the VR, and of course I will do the same inside here, because there's also a lot of dust. And do you think a lens is what you say, watertight, dust tight? No, no, not at all. So now it's actually back on track. Aha, not yet, because on the back here we have the back lens group, which is also have some, I think there was some dust in here. Just need a torch. Yeah. If you can see, there is a dust somewhere there. So I will simply unscrew the back lens group. Just to get into it. And I will do it by unscrew the mount and the aperture pin, which sits here. They have a screw inside here. It's a flathead screw, so what I need is a flathead screwdriver. And just by doing so, I can hopefully unscrew it. And then it's good to have a magnetic tweezer. And you see, here we have the aperture pin, but it cannot come out that way. So I need to unscrew the back lens group, which is held in place by 3 screws here, one there, there and there. So it prevents me from taking out the mount. So we'll just unscrew those 3 screws to the left. And then it's free. Now, then it should be possible to lift it out gently. It's quite heavy, so I need my dentist tool, which can make it a lot easier. And then it's out. Well, in this case I didn't want to, it was necessary. It was not necessary to unscrew the aperture thingy. So this is a very back lens group. And you see, it has some thread lock on here. and which I need to soften with the what do you say, nail polish remover. But again, I will just put back in the aperture pin here, so I know where it is. And it shouldn't be a big problem. Well, sometimes it is. But it's a lot easier to have that in when you put the lens back in. Because it can sometimes be a problem to put it in. Or maybe it's easier to just do it that way. Or just do like this. Now, here we have it. Pretty annoying. Sometimes it's not easy to work. Okay, here we are. I mean, almost there. Okay, sometimes it's just easier to open it up all the way. Or I could actually just unscrew. Yeah, that's a lot easier. See, I unscrew the black part here. So, and then let it go the back way out, hopefully. Here we have it. And then I can screw in this bloody screw, which you also can see here, how it goes. So it should work like this. And don't adjust those if they are okay. So now I can just put it back in again, and it should, the pin has to go like this. So the pin goes over here. And of course it cannot sit wrong. Here we are. So, and now we are almost back on track again and can put this aside. Now to the real problem, which was the hair or dust which is inside here. So I need to take off the lens, I mean the retaining ring here, and then I will switch to some blue gloves. Because then it's time to do some serious cleaning. Now, the retaining ring will just unscrew, and as I have tried in another lens, actually almost the same, this ring sits really tight. So by using the nail polish remover, I can actually remove the retaining ring. So just a little zip on the cotton bud. Just let it flow around. There can be a lot, like in many other lenses. They sometimes use a lot of this Threadlocker. And it's not the soft one, it's pretty hard. Now, when I was looking into this lens, repair the lens, I was thinking about, okay, I need some very sticky rubber, because using a lens tool, just like a compass like this, it was not that safe to do like this, so I didn't. But I went to the hardware store buying a gasket and a nut and some double side adhesive tape, and it works like so. See, no marks. Now, off the retaining ring, it can only sit one way, so it's not a problem. And I will use my sucker, my lens sucker here, to lift out the lens element, which is very handy. So it is. And now to some dust. And it's actually only dust, amazing. Where's underneath? It's also underneath. Okay. And then put it in again. And when I'm here, I will just clean the lens with a lens cloth. And of course I will use the PEC-PAD wipes, which is very good, and then some of those Eclipse. Let's see how it works. Put the wipe on and then add some there. This is actually just a mark. Maybe someone has used some different thing to clean the lens. I guess so. So that's it. And I will just put the retaining ring on again. Tighten it a lot. Well, looks much better. So now it's time to put it back in again in the back housing. And it can only sit in one way. Like this. So, and the 3 screws goes back in again. And to do it correct, I will just use some Loctite 222 Threadlocker. Pop up the top and then lift up the lock. And I have to use some, so I will just put on a piece of paper so I can just add it, just a tiny drop. There's no need to overdo it, or what people say. See, it's not that hard to get into. It just you just need some tools, good tools. So here we are. Wow, it looks really good. Now, so the VR assembly goes in. It also looks pretty good. So just put that in. Again. Of course there should be a hair in here. That's amazing. And push the aperture pin a little. It will make it a little easier for you to get the stuff in here, hopefully. And then it should just go straight in. Yeah, here we are. Click, it says, and then it's not set correct. So it goes not correct in. Better take it out and see what's actually going on. Should be like there. Okay, now I think it is, should just pop in. Need some strong light to see the screw holes from where. What's going on here? Okay, let's take it out. And yes, of course, it shouldn't be easy because there is a shim here that actually goes here. And there's one here. So better to push the screw out. It will make it a lot easier when putting in things again. But I will just add some threadlock on those this shim. Just to be sure it will stay where it should. Okay, there's a guide pin here, which I tried to catch, but was a little not easy. So we give it another go. The guide pin is going into that pin here. So we'll see. Now I have the a better option, better direction, which should be coming there. It's very, what do you say, tight fit. I think it's yeah, here it is. And then it should be possible to put it back in, hopefully. Yes. Just a little thread lock. And the last one. Now, so it is. It's pretty good. Now then it's time to put in the circuit board. And the I will put the first Oh, come on. The first of the flakes. In here. If I can. So here we was there. Okay. It works. And now the other side. The same one. There it is. And then it's so it is just to lock the connector. So, always exciting to work with those tiny flecks. And then here we have it. Then I will just use my tweezer to lock. And the last one, which is a lot easier. Haha. So. So, and then the 3 screws here goes in. Hopefully I can find the So and then I will I will take one screw out again, the first one I put in, and put on some Threadlocker. It was just to have a little hold of the circuit board. So it is. Well, maybe it's a little too tight, this flex. So maybe it can be put down here. Yeah, so it's better. But it doesn't seem that it is correct put in. But let's see. So, and just to be sure, the flex is all the way in. In the connector. Should go a little longer into, in my opinion. But it is actually a long cable, so I guess it will, it cannot go any further, so it's okay. There it is, and then lock the so that's it. Now just need some, and then it's time to actually put it back in again to the front part. The pin, the aperture pin, which is here, goes all the way into the take care of the flex. So if the pin here is all the way over here, it should, it should work. But sometimes it can be not that easy. But let's see how it. Did I catch it? Yeah, it looks like. So now the guide pin, which is the bottom of the lens, I should just catch it, which is there. Well, it looks much better. So for me now it's just to reassemble all those bloody screws. No need for gloves. Then I just need some Threadlocker. So now just a little, and then just So it'll be interesting to use the lens again. So it can work proper without doing a lot of dust removal in Photoshop or Lightroom or whatever program people use. So you see, it's not that hard to get into this big lens. It just, you need the JIS screwdriver, you need some tweezer, and you need of course some cleaning fluid. It could be, I mean, this time I used the Eclipse lens cleaner and PEC-PAD wipes. I could have used lighter fluid to clean the lens, but yeah, don't even think about using acetone, not at all. It will, I mean, some lenses are really a little sensitive to using the acetone. So, I mean, in my opinion, don't even think about it. So just some tighten of the screws, and now we just need to put in the flex cable. Sometimes they can be so annoying to put in. And here we have some dust. So the first one is the whitest. Put it all the way in, and then just press on the lock. So, and the next one, which is shorter than the other, and see, with the rubberized tweezer it's so much easier. Well, if the lock is fully open. Is not the case here? Come on. So here we are. So, and it's not all the way in. Sometimes two hands. So here we are. Then the switchboard. And of course I have my mark, so it will be a lot easier to know where it should sit. I do not have to remember so much about that. There it is. And the lock. So then 2 screws. And don't need to tighten that very much. And because of the thread locker, it's not a problem. So here we are. And it actually looks quite good. Then the nameplate. Not really any need for using Threadlocker on those. And there it is. Now then the mount here, this goes on here. I have a dot there, and I can just put in the first of them. First, the little plastic ring. Sometimes they can be a little hard to put in. I mean, sometimes. Here we are. And I will also just use a little this one over here. And the second screw. So we are actually almost there. And then the last one. Oh, come on. Oh, shit. Well, take a break. Okay, I got it. Sometimes it can be a little annoying to find things when they drop on the floor. But of course, if I use this one, will it be easier? Nope. Well. But what if I just push in the screw on here? Could it be a way of doing it? Yeah, it works. Now, I add some more of this. Because the tripod socket has to sit tight. So this can only be sitting one way. Like on there, goes that way. And then the short is towards the back, I mean the mount. So when we almost there. So now we are actually almost done. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, so it's just to put the cap on, and then here we are. Done. Bye bye.